What's up, Dream Team? Now, of course, automatically freaking out to make sure I'm actually on the Dream Team. And panic ensues. Anyone ever do that? Okay, so, obviously, if you do not know, you guys are freaking amazing. Spring bundle launched 4 p.m. yesterday. As of early this morning, they were thinking it would be sold out within the next hour. It's definitely going to be sold out by the end of the day. Really hoping people that wanted them can get them. But anyways, I digress. You guys have done almost very, very close to $750,000 since 4 p.m. yesterday. So that's something amazing to tell people on the fence. Like, hello, my team sells $12. We sell a $12 product. We did $750,000 in volume in less than 24 hours. Hello, why aren't you doing this with us? So anyways, just wanted to make sure you guys knew how amazing you are if no one's told you that today. I hope you guys watched my live from the other day, and if you're new to this page, I am Brittney Mettke. I am the Ruby National Executive Director of the Dream Team, and that is all of you with all of your fabulous leaders in my lineage, who I am so blessed to partner with. And the feature for this month, we're kind of doing like a back to basics thing. So if you got a quick like 20 minutes, you can watch my live from about a week ago. It's kind of talking about, something that helped me when I've had hard times is always going back to basics. The very basic thing, when you first sign up, we all have a reason why and why we joined. And being able to define that why is going to help you keep going in hard times, because it's easy to keep going when things are well, right? It's so easy when you're so excited, when we're having huge launches like yesterday, when you just signed up, when you're enrolling people, when things are perfect. It's always easy, right? When it gets hard is, and then it gets hard and you're like, why am I doing this? This is a waste, and it's kind of the same thing. And, for you guys that do not know me, I'm going to tell you a little bit about me, because that's what this is about. Cause it's going to tie in with my why. And it's kind of the same thing. I'm a recovering drug addict. When I got clean, staying clean was very, very easy when I first, when I got clean, and things were easy. I was learning to live. I, didn't have any of the stressors going on. Was living with my mother, bills, I didn't have any stressors. And I, was hypersensitive because I was not living a real life before then. I was in the zombie of addiction. So what happened was, when things, got hard, it was like, the end of the world. And so I always had to remember why I decided to get clean, and remember what it was like before. What it was like before I got clean, why I decided to get clean, because that is what got me through those hard times. And, and I was early in recovery, and I had some deaths and, financial struggles. And even years later, I remember even thinking, and I'm like, so I always use that. And it's the same for our business. Why did we start this? Why did we order the kit? What did we think it would do for us? And it looks so different for everybody. And here's, the fun fact. The truth is, it changes. Your why can change. And sometimes, what you think you sign up for, what you even believe, it doesn't turn out to be the real thing. And it is something to look at. And sometimes it can be a really private thing. I have been able to be a little bit more open and vocal with mine, but there are parts of mine that I hid. And a big part of my why was, and I wouldn't share this, was I was in a horrible relationship where I was financially dependent. And it was either, take my kids and go to a shelter or try to make an income, because my income was not going to. And, and I was not willing to share that, but it is what helped drive me through those few months, in the beginning when I, wasn't having the results that I thought I should have right away. And I just knew that I had to make this work. I had no other choice. And that was a big part of my why. The other things which people, may not know about me is like being, a convicted felon. And even with education, I could not get hired anywhere. So I had to make this work because I couldn't get a chance anywhere. And it doesn't have to be as dramatic as mine, obviously, but, being a woman, I know we have struggles that I know not everyone's a woman in here, but I know, like, being a mom and being a woman, there's some other whys I can think of, off the top of my head, like, I had nothing for myself. I was just known as being a mom. And everything came from that. I gave them everything, and I wanted something for myself. And that was a big part of my why. I had no girlfriends wanting to have the community, that was a big part of my why. Oh, someone called, sorry. The income and what that could bring. So these are things, that we need to think of when when things are harder and when we're starting and, we're not kicking this off, because I know there's people here that want to be independent, that, I know what it's like to have to ask someone for money, to just do simple things, and like being able to have even like an extra $25 a month, like what that could mean, like for me not having, I get that. So it's so important. And if you have been here for a while and you don't have what a clear thing, just start writing real quick. Because knowing your why is going to help you when things get hard. And let me tell you, there's harder months, and there's times where we're so busy where we don't want to do. Remember, last week I talked about, think of those a couple things that you're going to do every single day. There's going to be days where you don't want to do those. You can just revert back. Okay, why am I doing this? I've had times, where things weren't going, what I wanted, how I wanted them to go. And I literally had to be like, why did I do this? Why did I start? But here is how it also can help. Like when you're building your business, you need to let your customers and your network know why you're doing this, because they can buy Color Street, they might know another stylist. What sets you apart? What attracts them to your story? I had someone reach out to me on my team today, and and she has someone that's trying to decide between sponsors, and I'm like, listen, let her know like what what this is doing, what it's done for you, and what it can do for you. As a leader, like why, if you have such a powerful why, people are going to want to come to you because they are going to know that you're going to be so driven and so consistent that that's the person they want to partner with. And at the end of the day, we can always just go back to why we started. At the end of the day, when we're like, oh my gosh, like I know Brittney said that I should message 5 people, but I'm really scared to. Like, look at what we want and what are we willing to do for it. Do those things match? It's so easy to think of certain excuses, and a lot of it comes from us being confident or fear of rejection or fear of being judged. Is your why strong enough to, get past that? Because I know mine is. I know that my why has driven me to do things that I thought I was never going to do. Leave that relationship. So many things. But like on the days where I want to sit in bed and here's the thing, I can't give details, but I wanted to sit in bed yesterday and complain about something that ultimately wasn't going to serve me and wasn't going to serve the business and wasn't going to serve my personal business. It wasn't going to serve my team, which ultimately isn't going to serve my why. And sometimes we just have to snap out of it, and I've had to snap out of it. But the very basic foundation of this business is knowing why you started. And, saying you want, an extra $100 a month. Why? Why do you want that extra $100 a month? Okay. What else? Like, you want to save up money for vacation. Why is it important for you to save up money for a vacation? For me, it was because I never was able to take my children on vacation, or I've never been able to pay myself to take them on vacation. Just keep saying, like, when you write it down, say, okay, so why do I want to take them on vacation? There's always a root. So it's going to get really uncomfortable. Mine makes me cry. So like, and that's what I've heard. Like, does your why make you cry? I'm telling you, you'll be like, this is not that serious, Brittney. It's just nail strips. It's a lot bigger than nail strips. What we do here is a lot bigger than nail strips. People have been able, and I'm not even let's forget about me. Let's forget about the national executives, the executive director. Let's talk about, the stylists that have friends and community and confidence that they've never had before. That, having people have that's a big part of my why. Helping other people, like, do something that they may have not done before. And, even if Color Street turns out not to be for them, like, just being able to help them out of their shell a little bit, that's where, your why comes from and my why comes from. But knowing that is going to be the foundation on which you build everything else. And being open and sharing with your network, your team, your VIP group, and your parties why you're doing this. It's going to change, for one thing, me not having secrets, because like a lot of my stuff I felt so much shame about being open, has been such a relief for me, personally, but also it gives other people the courage to do it too. And I can guarantee you, someone else is dealing with whatever you're dealing with, and paying your credit card down. Why? Like, having no credit card debt, having that freedom. We all want some type of freedom, it all comes down to something. And so we're talking about back to basics this month, and your why is going to be that, I know, and it comes from different people, just not, wanting to have an identity outside of a mom and a wife, wanting to, not be dependent on their parents, wanting to have a community, wanting to have a girlfriend, wanting to have a voice, wanting to have a vehicle. I was never crazy about nails before. Obviously, I love having them now. But did I think that Color Street and nail strips would be my vehicle to be able to share my story about recovery from addiction? And, be that person for people to know that they're, for their son or daughter or themselves, that there's hope after that? Never. I never thought that. There's so much, that this can be a vehicle to do, but we have to kind of know why we're starting it and why we're doing it. And, on those days where we don't want to do the little things, remember it. And it's going to help you. Because now, like, I can kind of click, and like when I want to sit there and like pout and mope about something so petty, knowing like the ultimate reason on why I'm doing this, and what that means, just snaps me right out of it. And I'm like, okay, let's get to work. So I hope this helps. We're doing back to basics this month. The why is the foundation. If you do not know, and I'm going to tell you it's going to change, it might be deeper. Sometimes it might not. Sometimes my why may be like, listen, I want to I want to go get my hair done or something like that. It doesn't have to be like, for me, vacations was important, because it makes memories that I did not think, 3 years ago that I was going to be able to make for my family. I did not think I was going to be able to be a role model. So those are important. And just being able to be that voice and let people know what you're doing this for, it makes a huge difference. So hope you guys are having a great week. If no one's told you how amazing you are, I truly think you guys, the world of all of you, whether you sell a nail strip or not, and I will see you all soon. Bye.